I knew that if the most famous chef in America couldn't get the product, we would have no problem selling it.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me, ballin' like Houston, hey, feeling like Whitney.
So after the tea room had opened and things had worked out, I kind of caught this entrepreneurial bug. And I found these two guys in undergrad, my friends Ryan and Anatoly, and we spent all of our time brainstorming what was the next $1 million idea. And we went through hundreds of different ideas. I mean, still, I think people completely underestimate to this day the amount of time I spend brainstorming, thinking of new ideas. The amount of friends I randomly call and I'm like, have you heard of this company? Have you done this thing before? Do you really think this is an opportunity? I do this all of the time. It dominates most of the thoughts in my head. Is there an opportunity here? We finally figured out that worldwide supply of sturgeon caviar was down by 95%. Because the world had overfished the Caspian Sea. The craziest part is that we found this out because one day Ryan was like, what if we built a forest to grow like expensive wood to make expensive furniture? And Anatoly like snaps at him and is like, Ryan, if we're gonna like do any sort of agriculture, we're gonna grow the most expensive agricultural product, which is caviar. And then we're like, we don't know anything about caviar. We had never eaten caviar. And so we ended up Googling and being like, wait a second, like caviar supply is down by 95% because the world overfished the Caspian Sea. So I wonder if people still want this product. So I remember Googling famous chefs in America and cold calling Thomas Keller to see if he had caviar on his menu. And I remember I like get this guy on the phone and I'm like, do you have caviar on your menu? And there's this long pause. And he was like, do you have any? And I remember thinking like, of course I don't have any. I'm a Queen's University student calling you from a library on a flip phone. But, you know, at that moment, I knew that if the most famous chef in America couldn't get the product, we would have no problem selling it. And so, you know, off we went. We said no to our job offers. We moved to the East Coast and we had to figure out the supply chain. We had to find a license and a fisherman and a boat and a processing facility. And, you know, when we got this done, we were calling restaurants that day being like, you know, you've never heard of us, but we caught, you know, this fresh fish today and we have the caviar from the fish and we're wondering if you want to buy them. The farm to table movement was just starting to happen and it was all working. But what sucks about this story is that we started in the spring of 2008. So by the fall of 2008, we were in the biggest recession of the last 70 years. And I was 21 years old, selling the world's most unnecessary luxury product. And I think even to this day, although that was incredibly painful at the time, it gave me a lot of resilience that I still use today to have something like that initially worked failed.
I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog like I'm in a big league.